A big secular run is what we have seen, at least in the first hour of trade. Time to welcome our market master for the day, Prabhat Awasthi, Head of Equity and MD India of Nomura Financial Advisory, now joins in. Prabhat, hi, good morning. You have a Sensex target of 27,200 till December end. But have you been surprised by the kind of volatility, consolidation phase that the market has seen over the last 1 month?
Well, I think it was to be expected, right? There was an upmove that would have happened given the strength of the new government. And after that, obviously, market will tend to take a breather to see the delivery from the government. So I think it's nothing very surprising. It's even the previous elections when the results have been strong, we have seen a very similar sort of market behavior. So I think it is very much in line with what has happened in the past.
So, Prabhat, the other issue is what's happening with the oil and gas space. That's really been the talking point over the last 1 week. The gas price deferral, and the fact that while there was some talk of a hike in LPG and kerosene prices, the minister has made it clear that right now that's not on the agenda. How would you approach this space? Do you think the market would like to give benefit of doubt to the government and wait out 3 months, or would this be a space where after the kind of big run that we have seen, there could be some profit booking?
So I think first of all, for the government to defer the gas price hike because they want to have further deliberation, I think, they have clearly given a time frame within which they'll come back. So that is fine because it's a fairly big decision, and given the fact that they have been in power only for a month, for them to take a decision based on past, what was taken in the past, for them to defer it by 3 months is absolutely all right. So far as kerosene and LPG is concerned, I think again it is too early for us to expect quick action. The government has been in power for a very short time, and in action probably even for shorter time. So the fact that there were some rumors, is away from the fact that what kind of action plan they will eventually have. I would think that it is probably important to keep faith with the sector because, we are essentially talking of strong governance, which includes, over a period of time of fiscal correction. But you might not see it in day one. You probably see it over a period of time. So generally, I think we continue to remain positive. Diesel prices are still going up for that matter. I think market, what we had been pricing in is a phase under recovery going away from diesel. Petrol is anyways out. So that is what we have built in, and we essentially, therefore, overall continue to like the sector.
Okay. Prabhat, hi, good morning, and good to see you in this morning. There are, some other critical and long pending reforms like GST, there is a power distribution, private participation of coal mining, etc., that the street is expecting. But realistically, do you see clarity on any of these issues come through in the budget this time around?
I think the budget is, it's not necessary that everything will happen in the budget, first of all, because budget is a government, is a document for finances of government. So unless, reforms impinge on the finances of the government, it's not necessary they'll be included. For example, expediting road projects should not be a part of the budget document because end of the day, it doesn't deal with either revenue or expenditure of the government. So far as decision making is concerned, so long as it doesn't pertain to finances, it doesn't have to be in the budget. That is number one. Secondly, I don't think you can, in a very short span of 2 months of our government coming to power, you can expect everything to be put into the budget. You could have a roadmap for GST, but as I said, it's the government in power for a very short while. We have to give them some more time. I understand the expectations are running very high, but what will be in the budget and what not be in the budget is very hard to say. But I think so far as measures which impact revenues like GST, they might be a mention. But I don't think we should expect a very immediate, sort of implementation because the issues which were outstanding between center and state are probably still outstanding. You could probably see a better, faster resolution of those maybe by next year. But seeing implementation right away, I think, is something that is probably too much in terms of expectation.
Okay. I was just going through your list of top buys, and you have names like Axis Bank and ICICI Bank as your top stock picks. This morning, it's interesting, the Bank Nifty is actually outperforming and, aiding the up move. Would you still consider sticking with private sector banks, or PSUs should also be a part of the buy list now?
No, so this is basically what analysts have put out. Our view on strategy and what I put out, our reports for a while now is we have been generally bullish in banking. The first phase we were more positive on private banks, but we've added PSU banks to that list. So if the government of the day is decisive and does move on reforms, then the NPA issues which have been dogging the public sector banks will start to clear out. So, and we probably are in a phase, and the fiscal consolidation happens, the rate picture will overall, over a period, start changing for the positive. So we have in our portfolio added SBI, for example, about quite a while back. So basically, we think that it will be the entire banking space which does well. Cheaper stocks will catch up to more expensive stocks, which basically are private banks. So I think you will probably see an overall up move in the banking space, including private and public sector banks.
Okay, we have a money control boarder who writes to us. Tushar Kumar has written to us from Faridabad, Prabhat. He wants to know which sectors will benefit most from pre-budget rally. You want to take that up?
Well, first of all, I think, whether a pre-budget rally of any significance will happen or not, I'm not very sure, because there are challenges in terms of drought. And if we still don't get rains for another 5-10 days, I think there will be worries that will surface. So I think a pre-budget rally is being held back by the fact that there are macro worries which have arisen. So, but typically what happens in pre-budget is the sectors which have policy sort of implications do tend to go up, because market starts to bet that budget will tackle give more soft, so for example infrastructure, etc. That's quite possible. But I think on an overall basis there are worries both on oil front and this drought front that will, I think, hold back a very strong move. Pre-budget rallies are not very common, by the way. The statistical evidence is that the pre-budget rallies don't happen every time. Probably, if you go back and look, they happen less. So the fact is that 8 times out of 10, I think, is the number. Pre-budget rallies have not happened. So I think I wouldn't hang my hopes too high on a massive pre-budget rally.
That's true, actually. If you look at it from the 1990s, then not just the pre-budget, but even post-budget, there's been a correction 9 out of 10 times. So, well, this time around, it could just be a hope. Nothing might fructify. But in any case, today the market is looking very good. So let's stick to that. You still have a buy on ITC, I noticed in your list of stocks. Over there are some draconian measures expected in terms of higher taxes, etc. You think ITC will weather that storm?
Well, I think there are two different things again. From strategy side, we don't have any consumer stocks. Obviously, our the stock has come off, so our analysts think there's value. There's why we have a buy on ITC at different reasons. Because we like the fact that the consumer business is growing. We are more bullish on that over a period of 3 to 4 years. But if you ask me, in our portfolio construction, our strategy has been underweight consumer for a while, and that continues to be the case. Because we don't think that consumption recovery will happen very quickly, especially if the government has to take difficult decisions of raising, for example, you've seen railway tariffs, or for example electricity tariff hikes or diesel price hikes. These are not going to be very positive from consumption perspective. They're necessary, but in the short term painful at times. So if I'm sort of looking at market moving up because of the fact that government is going for fiscal reforms, I would be less bullish in consumption in a relative sense than on the cyclical rate cyclical stuff. So that is the overall context in which. So you have to look at ITC from an analyst perspective, which frankly on a stock basis, I would direct that question to our analysts.
Prabhat, what's the portfolio call from here on? Because I believe you still maintain overweight on IT, and at the same time you have preference for rate cyclical. So in terms of portfolio, what would be your allocation for the rest of the year?
So exactly what we have sort of given out so far, at least we have said two things. One, that growth will be very slow to pick up. We think that there will be action on growth, but at the same time we think there will be fiscal correction, and the fact is that the macro picture of India has gotten better and better. BOP situation's improved. I think inflation, there's a drought risk, but inflation still has tailwinds in terms of base effects. We think that the overall therefore interest rate picture will become better over a period of time. So therefore we are more bullish on rate cyclicals, less bullish on growth cyclicals. That has been the case for a very long time. Therefore we are buyer of banks. We like reform plays, especially sectors which are important for driving capex. So infrastructure owners or power sector plays, or oil and gas space. That's the reform sort of flavor for you. Then we like IT primarily because we are bullish on US growth, and clearly the valuations are not very expensive, and then you cannot be completely beta in any case. And I think you would have seen in the last few days IT has outperformed. So we are not positive on domestic defensive. We are okay with IT because we think that the volume growth story there is looking good, and the valuations are not expensive. So IT therefore has to be looked at in that context. Otherwise, we mostly bullish on domestic plays, especially those which derive their sort of valuation where we are driving the call from either rate picture or the reform picture.
All right, Prabhat, we leave it at that. Thank you for joining us and being with us on the show. That's the word coming in from Nomura. They say don't expect a pre-budget rally this time around. In fact, if the monsoon situation gets worse in the next 3 to 4 days, then the market will be seriously concerned.